Hello and welcome back to the channel. I'm Tim, and today I'm continuing my playthrough of Skies Above Britain. We are now up to Chapter 3, Patrol number 7. The penultimate patrol of Chapter 7. Alright, before we get started, shout out to Stuart for spotting a mistake I made in Patrol 6. During the escort reaction, let me find an appropriate card here so I can illustrate this. We had an ambush result from 109s, and I didn't set everything back up, but just to kind of illustrate here, we had at the time Green Leader, and I'm not sure who the other one was. I'm just saying it was Red 3 for illustrative purposes, that were in the bomber formation area. We had all our Dorniers here. And then we had Red Leader and Green 2, who were both lost contact. And so I resolved the ambush, and I said, okay, let's see which of these two it's going to be. Well, it wasn't supposed to be one of these two. For the ambush result, the priority for who they target is first they'll go after a lost contact section, which we didn't have any of those. Second priority is a lost contact individual fighter, which we did have. And then the final priority is fighters in the bomber area. So it should have been either Red Leader or Green 2 that got jumped by the ambush, and not a Green Leader. The Green Leader was Upchurch, and what ended up happening to him was he got a cockpit, or no, it was an elevator hit. He went on to roll, I think it was like maybe a 4 for the first roll, so he crashed, but then he rolled, it was like either an 8 or a 9, something like that, well above either the 4 or the 6 to successfully bail out. So what I'm going to do to correct that is assume that everything that happened did happen, but that it actually happened to one of these two pilots instead. So it's either going to be Hooley flying as Red Leader, or Fitzroy, who at the time was green, but again, the roll was sufficiently high enough that even a green pilot would have bailed out. So it's going to be one of them that's going to take Upchurch's place in the bailout box. So we'll say even, it's Hooley. Odd, it's Fitzroy. So it is even, so Hooley actually winds up in the bailout box, and Upchurch did not have to bail out. All right, so again, thank you, Stuart, for pointing that out. It'd been so long since I'd had an ambush result on one of these cards that I had forgotten those priorities. So lesson learned there. If you haven't done something for a while, double check the rules before you just trudge on ahead. Okay, with that straightened out, let's go ahead and get started on Patrol 7. Let's put these guys back where they belong. Okay, so let's see what our event for this patrol is going to be. Hopefully something positive this time. Be nice for a change. We're up here on the Chapter 3 table. And actually, did I look at the wrong entry there last time? I know we got that transfer. Did I actually roll a 12 or was it an 11? Might have messed that up. Anyway, here we go. We got a 2. So let's scramble again. Come on. All right. So that means no replacement for this patrol. And we will once again be using this for our vector marker setup. We will be starting in the deep zone, and then we have to roll to see how much fuel we have to start off spending and who's low ammo. All right, so why don't we go ahead and do the roll first, I guess, while we're here. Five is going to be some, so we roll another die. Wow. Everyone's low ammo, but we only have to spend 2 fuel instead of 3 if it had been that result. So 2 fuel spent, and everyone's going to be low ammo. Let's get our markers set out. We'll be optimistic and put the squad marker or squadron marker there. I have a feeling we may just be flying a flight again. Or hopefully maybe at least 3 sections, we'll see. But I don't know. We're down 5 pilots and we have 2 that bailed out and a whole bunch fatigued. Well, no, they're coming off of being fatigued. So yeah, we might be good. We might be able to do 3. All right. I think that's enough rambling for me to sufficiently shuffle these. So 4 in the first one. By first, I mean leftmost, which is actually last technically, I guess. Then 2, then 3, then 3. All right. Let's take a look at our pilot situation. So these guys that were fatigued are no longer fatigued. Yeah, we got, wow, that's 5 of our veterans. So we should be in pretty good shape. All right, and let's see who that flew last patrol is now fatigued. So Doggett is fatigued, newly promoted Doggett. Fitzroy is also fatigued. Oops, I guess I should put them in the fatigue box. Hooley, but he had to bail out, so that's okay. Yeah, I think that's it. Yep. That is all for our fatigued pilots. So yeah, we should be able to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Actually, if we flew one of those guys fatigued, we could do a full squadron. All right, let's get to some assignments here, though. Let's put who's been doing the best here. Rathbone deserves to be a section leader. He's got 4 bomber kills and 1 escort kill. Next up looks like would be Hooley, but he's out of action right now. Let's make Jap. He's got 3 bomber kills and 1 escort kill. Of course, our ace Upchurch will be a section leader. And then how about Northcott's got 1. Irwin's got a couple. And Ellsworth's got a couple. Let's make Erwin. Ellsworth just got out of the hospital, so I don't think he's up to the task of section leader quite yet. Might still be a little shaky. All right, we got no. We do have one green pilot, Trumbull. By the way, I haven't seen any comments yet on the 007 connection there with Trumbull. So if you know what that is, let me know in the comments. And again, no cheating. All right, let's just start throwing some guys out here then. So we got 3 other veterans. We'll put another veteran in here since Upchurch has a rookie there. So we'll go that way. And then we'll put Atkinson here, Pertwee here. And then who do we want out here? Doggett or Fitzroy? Let's go with Doggett. He's going to be fatigued. All right, good to go. Let me mark these down. I almost forgot to do that last time. Atkinson, Birtwistle, Doggett, Ellsworth, Fitzroy is sitting out, Hooley sitting out, Erwin is flying, Jap is flying, Northcott is flying, Osgood had to bail out last time, Pertwee is flying, Rathbone is flying, Trumbull is flying, Upchurch is flying, and White is flying. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. All right, perfect. Let's see. We got all that set. We just need to do our visibility. Find my scenario card. Here we go. What are we looking at for visibility this time? We don't have anyone in the hospital to check on, so once we get this, I think we'll be good to go. So 11 is going to be clouds, no sun. Hopefully that changes. All right. Let's do this. Yep, we got all 4, so we got all of our fuel markers out. I think we're all set. Read vector sequence, reveal. Oh, raid. Yikes. Okay, it's cloudy, so we don't get to see the escorts yet. In fact, if it stays that way, we won't even get to see the bombers until we actually intercept them. All right, so let's just keep a pile of these over here. Next up, weather. Hey, does that make it go to sun? Already haze clouds. I don't think so. I think it just stays cloudy on that one. Weather visibility changes to haze. If haze already, it is now clouds. Yep. So that only makes it worse. We need a turn point is what we need. And then we got a Messerschmitt, but we are deep. So I remembered this time, Stuart. Messerschmitt is a straggler result because we're in the deep zone, indicated here by this covered up iconography. and we're not going to be tempted by that. We had a section that was already lost contact. It might be something to consider, but not in this case. And another straggler, so we'll ignore that one as well. All right, so here's the big question. We've got 3 more coming up in here. Do we just try to make contact from an adjacent zone and hope for the best? We could end up, we'll end up, assuming we're willing to spend the fuel, which I would be, we'd be looking at either tail low, flank low, or nose high. Nose high would be great. The other 2, not so much. Flank low is okay, I guess. Yeah, I think we better if we're going to have a shot at, if we want to rack up some points through isolation. And again, at this point, if we end up not being able to contact the raid, I'm not all that concerned. Conditions are pretty unfavorable anyway, so let's go ahead and do it. So, but first, we have to do the fuel step. So we spend the fuel. And now the question, contact. Yes. So we're going to make contact. We're rolling on this in adjacent zone, so we have to spend another fuel. And let's see what we get. A 2. So trailing low, and we can make an adjustment to tail low. Well, I think we'll definitely want to do that. Let's see. So trailing low, we're looking at obviously either way we're going to have the trailing or the tail approach penalty, which will be draw 2 return fires and use the worst. Yeah, depending on where these escorts end up. Best case scenario, we're looking at needing a 9. Whereas if we come in from tail low, we've at least got a few situations that aren't too bad. So yeah, we'll spend another fuel, make that adjustment to come in tail low. And I believe now we do get to see the escorts, but not the bombers, I believe. So let me double check that. Because of the cloudy visibility. Let's see, contact is going to be in the raid vector sequence. Raid vector sequence, contact, okay. Contact ends the raid vector sequence, initiates the interception sequence. Guess I can show you what I'm reading. Set up the rest of the game space. Escort. If escort station markers are not yet on the map, place them there now. So that's regardless of visibility. But then the bomber tiles, this clouds exception. If it's clouds, we defer until a fighter enters the bomber formation area or the visibility changes. All right, so let's Let's see what we got for escorts. Nine. I think that's what we had last time. Port 109 heavy and starboard 110 heavy. 110 heavy over here. 109 heavy over here. Okay. That's all we do for now. Since we made contact, we exit the RAID vector sequence and start the interception sequence with orders. Let's have a look here at our situation now that we know the escort locations. We're coming in tail low, and we have starboard and port, so either one applies. So actually that's not too bad. We only need a 7 or higher. I was actually contemplating, and mainly because I've never done it and wanted to see how it works, giving them a cruise order to maneuver into a better position. I'm trying to think what the negatives of that would be. So let's say we do a cruise order. I mean, obviously it results in additional fuel expenditure, but we have there won't be any escort reaction because there wouldn't be any bombers or fighters in the bomber formation area. So we would basically do our cruise. Oh, I think there is a chance, if I remember right. Where is that at? There's a cruise table that you have to roll on. That's where the potential downside is. Where is that at? Here it is, cruise check. Because it seems like if ever there was an opportunity to do this seems like the perfect time. Well, I mean, the perfect time would be if there's no escorts, but so you have to roll on one of these tables, and it depends on if an occupied, unsuppressed escort station is high, port, starboard, low, or in the sun, you'd use this table, which it is in this case. And I don't know if we have to roll for each escort station, I'm guessing. See, I've never done this, so I'm not even sure how this plays out. It's been a while since I've read that portion of the rule book. So this would be in the interception sequence cruise. Here we go. So we'd select the formation with a cruise order. We get to move it to a new position or change its altitude or both. So basically you can go anywhere you want and be high or low altitude. If there is an unsuppressed escort station marker on the map, you must make a cruise check. Do this by consulting the cruise check table. Okay, use table A, blah, blah, blah. Yep, we know which table we need to use, but then how does it actually work? So this is just showing the table. All right, table A procedure, here we go. Table has 4 cells, each with a red number in it. Use only one red number. Which one? The cell that corresponds to the occupied station's escort type. If more than one station has an escort marker in it, use the cell with the highest red number. Okay, so it's just like an interception check. You use the worst one. How many dice? So it's 1, but if it's in the sun, you can roll 2 and add. If it's in the nose position or moving from a high altitude to a low altitude, so this would be if your new position is either nose or you moved from high to low, you can roll the die or dice once again to garner a better result. It looks like you don't even have to spend a fuel to do that. Compare number you rolled. If it's equal to or higher, the check is passed. If it's less, then the check fails. If it fails, remove the formation from the interception map and initiate the dogfight cycle. You're now lost contact. Ooh, that's terrible. Yeah, we won't be doing that. Because we would be needing to roll, well, let's see. Flank or low. Well, I was thinking it was up here, but that's only if it's high station or they're in the sun. So we'd only have to roll higher than a 6. And if we went to the nose, we could really tear them up. You know what? Let's try it. This is a good patrol, I think, for experimenting with stuff since we've already avoided disaster. So I think this will be a good exercise in seeing how this works and if the payoff is worth the gamble. All right, so in the orders phase, we're going to issue a cruise order to our squadron. And then we go to the intercept phase. So we first resolve any escort orders, there are none, then bombers orders, there are none, and then cruise orders. So we are going to have them move to nose high. And before I make that decision final, let's just take a look at what our interception possibilities are then at nose high. So we're going to need a 7 or better, unless we decide to try to intercept the 109s, and then we would only need a 6. If we were able to intercept both, we'd only need a 3, but then we're down a lot of fighters for the bombers to go after the bombers. So let's, I think that's good. If we went flank high or low, we'd be looking at an 8 because they'd be on the same side as us. Or yeah, low would be terrible. So yeah, I think that's a good. So right now we're looking at needing a 7. So it'd be the same, but I think we'd get a lot better. I think there's a lot more chances of disrupting when you come in from the nose and then not having that penalty of having to draw 2 return fire markers is worth it. But we shall see. All right, so since we did that, we performed our cruise, and so now we have to roll a cruise check. And does pluck? That's interesting. So pluck can be used for chase, intercept, or suppress escort checks, but not for a cruise check. I wonder what the reasoning there is. All right, so we're on our own here with this. And we do have that free reroll since, it's if we move from the nose. Oh, see, that's not what this made it sound like. because you're doing this check after you've moved. Where was that again? Complete. No, we're in the, here it is, cruise check procedure. See, this says if the formation is in the nose position. And at this point that you're rolling this, see, I guess it doesn't select a formation. If there are no escort signals, move the formation to a new position or change altitude or both. However, so that's only if there's none. If there's an unsuppressed escort station on the map, you must make a cruise check. Okay, so I guess rereading that, the cruise check is first and then you move. So it's only if you're cruising from the nose that you get the reroll. That's okay. We're still going to do it. We're committed. All right, so we need to roll a 6 or higher because we've got 110s in a flank or low station and we've got 109s in a flank or low station. So the 6 is the higher number, so that's our target. So here we go, 6 or more. Oh, we failed. All right. So, failing the cruise check, the section or independent RAF fighter, no, that's chase. I'm looking at the wrong part. Cruise, here it is. Failure. Remove the formation from the interception map and initiate the dogfight cycle. Your fighters were intercepted and are now lost contact. Draw a Luftwaffe advantage card for each section in the formation. Okay. So this was probably a mistake, but like I said, I wanted to go through the procedure. Oops. So we can see how this works. So our squadron marker comes off the interception map. All 4 sections are lost contact. And we get a Luftwaffe advantage card for each. And then I assume these are going to be of the type corresponding to the column on the cruise check table that you used. Let's see. Cruise check. It doesn't really say, it just says draw a Luftwaffe advantage card for each section in the formation. But I'm going to assume that they are coming from the one that we rolled against, which would have been the, that's interesting. The rule book has a different table A. Theirs is an 8. 8 and a 6 instead of a 6 and a 5. So that must have gotten changed after the rule book was already put together. I noticed a couple of the graphics are not in sync with the actual components Yeah, but it doesn't say that. So, well, let's see. Sometimes they hide rules in the examples. So let's take a look here. The player rolls a die garnering a 7, which fails. A 10 or better was needed. A dogfight is triggered with 1 10s. Yeah, okay. So rule hidden in the example here. All right, so let's go ahead. So these will be 109s because that was the higher number. All right, so section A, or red section. Let's see what they got. Fingers off. A green fighter immediately becomes low ammo. No green fighters in red section. That reminds me, we want to put this on here. And we want to put the fatigue marker on there. Okay. All right, so what we got is head on with a rota. So head on and tailing. Section against 109s. We take a hit, they vanish, but reinforcements arrive from the rear. So who gets that hit? It's going to be Atkinson. Now we cannot perform a maneuver because of the hit marker. Ooh, it's a bad one too. All right. So tailed. Not trailed, tailed. Section 109s. You have to spend a fuel, another hit, and they're reduced. So red section spends a fuel. And another hit result on 4 is going to be red 3. And it's a cockpit 8. So now we'll roll for those. We'll do the red die for Atkinson and the blue die for Birtwistle. So he... that's almost funny. So Atkinson needed a 10. He rolled an 8. Birtwistle needed an 8. And he rolled a 10. So if we'd done them the other way around. So Birtwistle's fine, but... Atkinson goes to the elevator fate box. All right, then we have, so that concludes the first round of dogfight. If we weren't already lost contact, we would be now. So now we can maneuver. Let's try to do a turn. See if we can. I don't think we're going to get any, I don't think we're going to go after the bombers on this patrol after this mess. So see if we can at least down some fighters. So we're going to do a turn, and Rathbone can potentially do a pull tight if there is no turn result on here. So let's take a look. Section against 109s. Okay, there is no turn. So yeah, we're going to use Rathbone's pull tight privilege. During a turn maneuver, replace dogfight results with a tight turn with no icons in it. Must be independent or section leader. So he's used his privilege. We ignore those results. and we are going to attempt a turn again. There we go. Except not what I was hoping for. So the turn, oh wait. So that turn was successful, sorry. So we're actually head on with them now. So we need a head on and tailing card. All right, section against 109s. A green pilot takes a hit, there is none. A regular hit, and then they vanish. Well, that wasn't what I was looking for. So someone else gets hit. It'll just be even or odd this time. And even is going to be Birtwistle again. Ooh, he gets a wing 10. Well, he rolled a 10 last time. Let's see if he can do it again. Yes, he did. Nice job. Okay, that does it for red section. Green section. They're not 110, so ignore that. Head on with a rota. Starting out the same. Let's hope it finishes a little better. So section, there we go. Against 109s, they vanish. We get a kill, and someone goes low ammo. Well, they're gone. Let's see who gets the hit, or the damage result, I should say. 9 is going to be green 2, Ellsworth. Nice job. We'll mark him with an escort kill. That's his second. And first for the patrol. Chapter 3, Patrol 7. And that's our second that we've gotten since the last set of 4. So 2 more will garner us another victory point. Oh, and then someone goes low ammo. And that will also be Ellsworth. He could use his privilege to cancel that, but I'm fine with that for now. All right, next up, blue section. Hun in the Sun. There is no sun, so we don't have to worry about that. And another head-on with a rota encounter. All right, section against a 109. Oh boy, they vanish. Well, that part's good. The rest isn't so great. Someone becomes loose. We have to do a collision check, and someone takes a hit. All right, so let's do the collision check first. So the red die will be who is doing the collision check, and the blue die will be the collision check itself. All right, so no collision. Then we have someone goes loose. Let's see who that is. 3 is going to be blue 3. And then someone takes a hit. That's a 6, so that's going to be blue leader. And they get a wing 6. He gets a wing 6. Hit check. Ooh. Can't use pluck on a hit check, and +1 wouldn't help anyway. So off to the wing fate box. These are now both independent fighters. Wing. There we go. All right, and lastly, yellow section. It is a heavy escort, so they're going to be head-on and tailed by a couple of rotas. All right, so head-on first. Section against 109s. Hey, we got another kill. A whole bunch of stuff going on here. So they vanish. Someone goes loose. So let's see who that's going to be. Do this up here now. 7 is going to be leader. And then, so this is a question I've thought of recently. So now that the leader has gone loose, does that mean one of these guys take over as leader? Like Northcott's a veteran, so is he now considered the section leader for doing things like, pull tight or what's another one that requires it to be section leader? Follow my lead, that kind of stuff. Or for pluck. Is he now considered the section leader? I would think so, but I don't know that for sure. All right, so he goes loose. We still have to resolve the damage, a hit, and a low ammo. So let's see who gets credit for the kill. 10 is going to be Northcott. So 2 escort kills so far for this patrol, and that makes 3 for Northcott. One more and he'll have a confirmed kill. Then we have a low ammo. That's going to be our fatigued pilot Doggett. And then someone takes a hit. And that's going to be Northcott. A rudder 10. We don't resolve that yet though, because we're still being tailed. So now we can't do a maneuver. Although, hang on. I think when we get that loose result, we can have a fighter that's tailing us follow the fighter that goes loose. Let's see, loose. The RAF fighter becomes independent and has now lost contact. If the section is tailed, you may have the Luftwaffe fighter marker tail the RAF fighter, which we're going to do that because that way he can do a maneuver. So yeah, let's try a turn again. That's Irwin, so he's still got his privilege available. So a tailed card, and we're now a lone fighter against a 109, and all it is a green Green pilot would have taken a hit. So we're going to use his privilege to make that a tight turn. So they are now coming at us head on. But that won't get resolved until the next round, so we need to do this hit check next. And failed. So Northcott in yellow 2 goes to the rudder fate box. All right, now we've got a head-on situation here. Single fighter head-on with a 109. They vanish and we do a collision check. All right, safe. And now these are both independent fighters. Okay, well that completes our cruise order. That was kind of a mess. So let's see what we want to do now. So we go into the entropy phase. There's nothing in the bomber formation area. We don't do reaction. So now we have chase. So do we want any of these to attempt to chase the bombers? I know a lot of people in the forums and stuff say, oh, you should never chase, just RTB. They also say you should never cruise, but we just did that. So I'm kind of the mind of never say never. I think there's a situation for where each of these might be applicable, albeit probably very rare situations. Let's see. We've got 2 heavy escorts on the port. If we do successfully chase, we're looking at either coming in port or starboard low, which are both going to be terrible because they're on that same side. Yeah, we'd be needing 10 to intercept in either case. Or trailing low, which we looked at before, was horrendous. Well, now we know where they are. They're starboard or port. So yeah, that would be an 11 or higher to intercept. So in this particular situation, I don't think chasing makes sense because our chances, assuming we do successfully chase, which I mean, not so great because of the visibility. It's going to be harder to find them. There is a pretty low chance that we get intercepted, but still, even if we do successfully chase, then we're looking at very low odds of intercepting the bombers. And we've already got 3 in the fate boxes, so I think it's time to just say this patrol isn't going as planned, and we just need to return to base. So we're going to just have everybody RTB. Again, I'm not going to physically move the blocks over there. Because I'll just have to move them right back. So we go to patrol complete, and yes it is, because everyone's either in a fate box or in the RTB track, or would be on the RTB track if I actually moved them there. Alright, so let's slide this down here so I don't have to reach all the way across the table for it. Alright, so we've got that. We've got Blue Leader. So none of these are green or fatigued. So we're just going to be straight rolls here. So looking to get a 9 or higher here. Again, red die will be the initial result. Oh, 2 and a 1. I'm pretty sure he's dead. 2 is fire and 1 is indeed KIA. So, wow. Oh, and that was Jap. Oh, no. So we lost Jap. Yeah, this turned out to be a huge mistake, I think, on my part. So lesson learned here. Don't cruise. But now you know how it works at least. Red 2. Let's see what happens to him. Oh, he got a 1, which is going to be a crash, but then 12 will be a successful bailout. Red 2 is Atkinson. We can move these guys back onto the squadron board, squadron display. All right, and then we've got yellow 2 being flown by Northcott. He needs a 7 or higher. No, wow, 1 and 3. Ooh, wow. I'm glad that was on the rudder. He just barely manages to bail out. Thought we were going to be looking at another KIA there. Okay, so not too disastrous, but still losing Jap was he was kind of near and dear to my heart. Inspector Jap is no longer with us. All right, get that slid back up into place. Okay, so let's look at our patrol summary. Not much to see. We managed 2 escort kills, but we need 1 more in order to score another victory point. Nothing here, nothing here, so no victory points for this patrol. 2 bailed out. None were wounded. 1 killed in action. Moment of silence for Inspector Jap. All right, that's going to wrap it up for this episode of Skies Above Britain. Thank you all for watching. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe. Let me know if you saw anything I did wrong in this one. Like I said, that was my first time doing a cruise order, so hopefully I got that all correct, so you can at least see how it works, and that you now see it's probably not a good idea unless there aren't any escorts around. All right, so we will see you in the next episode. Bye for now.